Good morning, good evening, and of course, good afternoon. Today, we're going to be showing you how to win the easy way with one of Brotato's most beguiling and difficult characters. That's right. Today, we're tackling the Explorer, a character which befuddles Brotato players across the board. I would not be surprised to hear that this is usually one of the last D5 clears for a normal player's journey. It's a challenging character indeed. But by the end of this video, we're going to help you channel your inner Sir Francis Drake, your inner Ferdinand Magellan, or maybe even your inner Christopher Columbus, your explorer of choice, as we go ahead and show you how you can win easily on D5 with this character, although maybe not easy. No Terrified Onion, because I do really value speed on this character. We are going to be utilizing a stick strategy. We are very fortunate to see a bag, one of, if not the most important items on this character, and one of the ways that you can really increase your chances of winning. We'll talk more about that. Now, there's no secret, looking at Explorer's character sheet, this is a tough character. You know, not only is the map bigger, not only are there more enemies, but the enemies move faster. And sure, we do too, but if that wasn't hard enough, there is a 40% damage penalty. 40% damage penalty, and all enemies drop half materials. Yeah, that's a difficult set of circumstances, and one that we're going to attempt to overcome here. Don't mind a touch of harvesting just to get things started. Again, I don't really think harvesting is that valuable on this character, but if we get a little bit early to work with us through the rest of the game, not unhappy. What is one of the most important stats when playing this character is luck. Luck is very, very important and something you should highly prioritize. Luck increases the chances that crates will be dropped from trees, and we're going to be dealing a lot with trees as well as crates. I'll be talking a little bit more about those mechanics in a bit. So luck is very, very important on this character. Do not skip it. Make sure you're getting yourself a decent amount of luck as you play this. Speed is also a stat that is very, very solid. So all things we do want to consider when playing this build. So I'm very, very happy to see that duck there nice and early. Gentle Alien can be difficult on this character. I will go ahead and take it. And again, luck is very important, but 15% attack speed early is quite solid. I love another Lost Duck, and I do like a cute monkey. Again, not as good as it might be in other characters, but you know, we'll pick it up. Also, really, really like that lemonade. I do think if you're struggling on this character, lemonades and weird food, items that increase the amount of healing we get from fruits, are very, very strong. So things we want to keep our eyes out for. Now, back to this character. Again, the mechanics are really, really challenging. Just 50% reduction in enemy materials, like that's a super steep penalty. If that wasn't enough, 40% damage reduction off the jump, that's extraordinarily tough. And this is a hard character. If you're struggling with this character, do not feel bad. This is a tough one. I did see that looter, so I don't think we're gonna be able to kill it. But the key to being successful with this character is trees. I mean, that's essentially how this character is meant to be played. Love another Lost Duck as well as an Alien Tongue. We'll go ahead and take 8% damage, as eventually I do want to get that percent damage back to neutral. Really do like a tree here, as well as a stick. I don't really need any of these. I really do like another blue stick. Again, solid level of sticks here for wave 5. So this character starts with more trees, including a lumberjack shirt. What does that actually mean? Well, if we go here onto the secondary stat, we will see this number of trees, which starts at 12 and is at 13 for the one tree item we picked up. And if people knew about that, I think this character would be a little bit more obvious in how you should play, or the strategy be a little bit more obvious. That 12 essentially means that this character starts with 12 of the tree items. So imagine starting a fresh character and seeing a tree with a 12 next to it. That is what this character does start with. And that is why you see so many more tree spawns on this character than others. And that is how this character is meant to be played, is by manipulating and taking advantage of that tree mechanic. Basically saying, hey, you know what, we're not going to get as many materials from enemies. We're not going to get, we're not going to get like a normal level of progression, but you, the player, are supposed to make up all those penalties that were thrown at you by taking advantage of the fact we're giving you a ton of trees. Now, is that easy, right? Like that's how it works, but is that easy? No, it's not. I mean, it's still a hard character, but that is sort of how this character is meant to be played. And I do really like speed. And again, weird food, one of the best items on this character, and definitely an item I will continue to prioritize. Don't like losing even more range, but again, I do want to get that Cyclops worm in order to get our damage neutral as fast as possible. So the general play pattern for Explorer is this: get a little bit of defense, get a lot of speed, get enough damage just to sort of kill enemies that are near you, and run, right? Like run around, take enemies out where you can, but really focus on getting around the map quickly and taking out all the trees on the map that you can. We're not as concerned about clearing waves on Explorer, simply because there's only 50% materials coming from enemies. So, you know, if we don't clear a map, it's not as punishing as it might be on another character. So this character really is meant to, I guess, explore, right? Like you run around, you get a little defense, you heal off the fruits with things like weird foods and lemonades, take out all the trees you can, and just sort of like run away. I mean, that's really how this character is meant to be played. I like to still turn this into a bit of an offensive character. Love a free spicy sauce, and looking for something a little better. Do like the melee damage. So I like to still turn this character into an offensive character, but just know you don't have to play that way. Really like these additional sticks that we are getting, and again, really looking for a little bit more range before we take things like a beanie. Again, don't really want negative range here. Another tip with this character is if you're struggling, re-roll a couple of times until you get 2 or 3 bags by like wave 10. Bags make this so much easier. You know, if you get 3 bags by wave 10, you're probably going to get like 2,000 materials by the end of the game from them. So bags are very strong and make this a lot easier, although they are certainly not necessary. You certainly can win without bags. Both bags and this character do share that exploration item tag, so you are more likely to find bags and trees on this character than you are others. But well, bags are very good, as are trees. It's also very important that we get a solid amount of luck, so we're getting a solid amount of crates from the trees that do in fact spawn. And I will be talking more about the tree spawning mechanics as we move on, but you can see just focusing on getting those trees. I don't think we're gonna be able to take this looter out. We may have gotten them, I'm not exactly sure. For free, I'll take an incendiary turret. This is just crit, so I'll take it. No pencil needed, no triangle power, no campfire. Love that 6 melee damage. Like defective steroids, although we do want to get that attack speed a little higher. No tardigrade is necessary, and love things like ritual. So you can see with that ritual, some of the other items we have taken, we are at positive % damage, which I think is key in making this character a little bit more efficient. Really do like a banner. Again, getting that range back up. But you can see here, I'm not as concerned with offense. Running around, poking the trees, getting a couple crates. Other item that is super strong on this character is recycling machine, because we recycle so many items. But you can see us kind of run around here. Not super concerned about the state of things, as we, hey, if we don't kill the bruisers on the map, that's all right. It is challenging. The fact they move 10% faster and we move 10% faster is definitely a net disadvantage. I want to be clear, right? Like that does not make it easier. It's definitely harder than it benefits you. So getting a little bit of extra speed, not only so you can clear more trees, but so you can stay away from the enemies, I think is pretty useful. So again, do not neglect speed, do not neglect luck, and do not neglect a little bit of defense. Initially, we can rely on our sticks to give us enough offense to get through the earlier challenges of the game. But you can see wave 8 here, really no issues, running around. Yeah, that's nice and easy. Hate losing luck, truthfully, but it gives us so much survivability for free. I will take it. No cog. I really do like 6 melee damage at 28 melee damage, which is good. Do like that banner, putting us at -8 range. So we do want to get that up a little bit higher than it currently is, but a lot more palatable. So some really solid items here. We should have enough to buy both of these. Recycling machine, one of the best items on this character, and vigilante ring is an absolute slapper of an item on this character. Does so well in dealing with one of the huge advantages that this character faces, which is the lack of damage with that 40% damage penalty. So I do like to get that damage neutral as soon as I can. Once it's neutral, we do find this character a lot more effective, right? Because now we're actually able to kill things. So early vigilante ring, and I would consider that early, is very strong. So I'm happy that we get to show that off. But that will make things much easier and make this the style of run where I will probably attempt to take out the bosses and elites, which is not something you can always do on this character. A lot of times you just have to play defensively, right? Like this character, the whole way this character is sort of designed is to make it hard for you to kill things and like stay alive, right? Like you're supposed to explore, right? Find that stupid fountain of youth, man. Run around. You're hunting for it in Florida. Where is the fountain of youth? It doesn't exist, but we don't know that, right? So you're supposed to run around, do that. That said, if you have a good run, you are able to sort of get around those penalties. You absolutely can kill the bosses, kill the elites, but just understand that's not how this character is necessarily designed, right? Like it's actually designed to do the opposite. I'll take a plastic explosives free. Same with leather vest. Same with piggy bank. Looking for something a little bit better, like 15% attack speed. Some really good things here, actually. We'll go and get that luck. 12 max HP would be very good, but that luck is going to help us so much. More items, more crates, more things like that. Melee damage is good, and don't want to drop the luck, so I'll pass the black belt. Somewhat tempted by a crown. I do think we have some time to get some value out of it, but again, not absolutely necessary or anything. We'll take that dangerous bunny, which I typically like to do if I get it before like wave 11 or so, and I do like that poisonous tonic as well. So let's talk about trees, right? Like how do trees actually work as a mechanic, right? Like what does a tree do? I figure out how many trees are on the map. Trees work as such. When the game decides to spawn trees, which happens typically 10 seconds in, but about every 20 seconds, the game picks a number, either 1 or 2. Then it essentially decides you have a 33% chance per that number to spawn trees. So that is how a tree normally works. In this character, when you start with 12 trees, or if you have the tree item, it picks a number between 1 and 2, and then it adds a random number based on how many trees that we have. So this character, you see here, has 12. So it'll pick 1 and 2, and then add a random number of that, which is 13. Whatever number it picks, could be 1, could be 13. Then they will take that total number plus 1 or 2, and then spawn that many trees at a 33% chance per number. So that is how the tree spawn works. So it's possible to get like 10 trees in one round. It's also possible to get like 1 tree in the spawn. So that is a little bit, just dependent on what the game spits at you. But that is how the tree mechanic works. And again, this character essentially starts with 12 trees, which is pretty good. Love another bag here, although we do feel a little slow. I don't like losing luck, but for free, I'll take that mushroom. Take the harvesting as well. We'll take a poisonous tonic. I do feel a little bit behind on defense, so I'm going to pass on that. I'm going to pass on that earlier item there. Reading around here, do like another stick. I was going to pass on the peacock. That's what I meant to say. This character does take a little bit of damage. We're only at 4 armor, 50 health. Again, this is a defense first character, and we're super slow. So I will pass on that peacock, although I think it would have been defensible to take that there. So I am, at this point, looking to get our offense, or sorry, our speed up a little bit. That does feel like the biggest miss here. But melee damage is good. Level of sticks are good. All things are solid. Again, really happy with eliminating weird food, as that is going to be the primary way that we are going to deal with the challenges is by healing with the weird food. So you certainly can play this character, right, with no lifesteal, no regen, and just heal off of, heal off of the weird foods, because they're heal off of the fruits that drop via, and they're improved by the weird foods. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. And again, I like the sticks sticks are a good weapon for this build, simply because sticks make each other more powerful, and they're very effective at just giving you base damage. So they're a good way to sort of overcome that initial penalty with 40% damage we have to face, just because sticks are so strong right now. For free, I'll take a Scar, like another Hedgehog, and love a power generator, which will hopefully be accompanied by more speed. I am very tempted by a glass cannon, so I will take it. We'll take that poisonous tonic. Would like a little bit of armor, even over speed, just to get that back positive. Don't need any of these. We are heading into a wave 12 elite. We do have a crown, so I'll take that wheelbarrow. I'll take a hunting trophy. I mean, that's okay in this character. We only have 12% crit. I really do like that tractor, but I will take it after the elite. Right now, I am focused on taking things that will help us with that. And we'll see if we can take out this wave 12 elite. It is the butcher, and our damage looks like it's solid enough. I mean, we're a little bit behind on attack speed, but this is not an elite killing build. I want to be clear, right? So it's very, very possible you're going to get to an elite and just going to have to survive, and that is totally okay. In fact, I do think this character actually has a much better time in dealing with horde waves than dealing with elites, right? So if you're having trouble, re-roll until you get 2 horde waves or all 3 horde waves, right? Because this character oftentimes is not able to kill elites. I mean, we are, because we have a solid stick start going, but oftentimes you're not able to take elites out on this character. And it can be pretty hard, truthfully, to survive elites for 60 seconds if you're not able to kill them. The reason being is 20 seconds in, it'll get to phase 2, no matter how much damage you've dealt. And 40 seconds in, it'll go to phase 3, no matter how much damage you dealt. Some of the elites, like the monks, who have the circular attack pattern that you have to sort of deal with, can be pretty darn hard, right? Like, to survive that long. So I think horde waves are a little bit easier just to run around through. But just take of that what you will. Again, don't like losing melee, but all really good things there. Love another weird food. Sure, I'll take another human monkey. Sure, I'll take a boxing glove. We'll go ahead and get that harvesting up a little bit. Like a metal plate, again, just to get our armor a little bit more positive. Love another stick here. All things are very good. I guess we're going to grab another hunting trophy. Again, that's not really that important for this character, but we will take it. The next thing I want to talk about is the engineering strategy. So a lot of people will recommend that you play this character as engineer, and that works. Like, engineering is a very solid strategy with Explorer. I would recommend you try it if you struggle with this. Engineering can work really, really well. Pardon me. The one thing with engineering is it's not as consistent. This character cannot start with a good engineering item, so you kind of have to get lucky with your rerolls and restart a bunch. Part of the reason I'm not showcasing it here, I think this way to play is just much more consistent, but engineering can definitely work. I mean, the engineering strategy is essentially the similar basics: get some good speed, get some good defense, get a little bit of regen, run around and focus on trees. We do start with that lumberjack shirt, so we can go ahead and just take the trees out. So speed, defense, run around, take the trees out, and let your turrets clear the map, as well as some mines and things like that. So it works very similarly. And I do think engineering is a very, very valid strategy. Again, I personally find it a little less consistent, but absolutely consider engineering a solid strategy on this on the Explorer. It definitely does, in fact, work. But you can see there, wave 13, not a ton of issues. No baby with beer for us. Actually, do like a wheat. Love a tentacle. We'll grab a little muscly dude and love that 8 melee damage. Leather vest, alloy, all things I do like to see. Don't need any of these. I'll take another wheat. Sure. I don't think we really need a tractor at this point. I also don't want to go too heavy in the harvesting just because I think they'll kind of skew the video a little bit. Love a focus, one of the better items on this character as we do head into a wave 14 elite. We are fighting the monk, which is one of the more challenging elites, especially for this character. As this character does not have burst damage, the monk is much more manageable when we can burst it into wave 2 so it doesn't spawn the eggs, which this character can obviously not do unless you have like the most broken of all broken runs. So I do think the monk is pretty challenging, especially on a wave like this where we do have the spawner enemy type, because it can be hard to, focus down the junkers that spawn from the spawner when you have to deal with the boss. That said, are able to take this monk out without too much of an issue. These waves 14 through 16, I want to be clear, are really tough with Explorer, right? So surviving here is definitely the issue. You usually will not have enough offense to keep the map clear of junkers, right? So, it is a little bit challenging. That said, we are persevering here pretty well. Again, just focusing on trees. If I take some damage, I'm running into the fruits. The fruits are healing a whole heck of a lot from those weird foods and lemonades, healing about 10 HP per. So, we're doing okay. Even we got a little low there. Sure, take a baby elephant. No explosive shells. We already have a boxing glove, which I think 1 is sufficient. And we'll get a touch of armor just to be a little more defense. Love a focus. Again, helping us get that percent damage back where we want it. We keep getting hunting trophies and we don't even have great crit, but I'll take it. And I also like a fin. Again, speed is so important on this character. Should have grabbed that weird food, just clicking a little fast there. Range is negative, so we'll go ahead and pick that out. So now I'm going to talk about how I would play this character, right? Like if I was on stream and someone's like, hey, Sean, play Explorer, like how would I roll it up? I would do this with shredders, truthfully, and just do a shredder build and treat it as if I am doing like a little bit of a harder run. Like, yeah, I'm doing shredders, I'm playing range, I have to deal with a 40% damage penalty, I have to deal with less materials, but I think shredders are very much strong enough where you can overcome that and have a good, successful run that gets a good double boss kill. That's how I would play this. Now, it's a little bit more difficult, right? And it's not as consistent. I think the stick is definitely the way to play this character, but I do think shredders and just going like a ranged explosives strategy works very well, and is how I would prefer to play this character. It's just, be forewarned, it's a little bit more challenging, right? Like this is a much more consistent strategy because the shredder is basically us challenging the game and saying, hey, I know the character is meant to play defensively and focus on trees, but like we're just going to go offense and screw you, right? So that's how I like to play it, but again, not quite as easy of a strategy. We can see making a ton of money off the crates. Love another vigilante ring. No mouse for us. Our melee damage is already at 50, so I'll pass on that. Like the wings, no game berserker, and again, really want to keep that speed nice and high. We'll take a sunglasses. Love a mastery. Like a weird ghost, and I'll tell you why I like the weird ghost, and it's important, not that important, but it's a useful mechanic to understand on this character. So every other character in the game, trees cannot spawn until 10 seconds into a wave. Explorer is the only character in the game who has the hidden mechanic where trees will actually spawn instantly. It makes things like weird ghosts a lot better. So you notice when we start this next wave, trees will be running right off the bat. That's not how normal characters work. Normally it's every 10 seconds, or it's not until 10 seconds into the wave. With Explorer, a wave of trees spawns instantly, and then every 20 seconds thereafter. So you can see, I can just run, look for the trees that immediately spawn, get that weird ghost, and get out of the danger zone nice and quick. So again, a nice little strategy there. So feeling pretty good about this. But again, what is the play pattern here, right? Run around, play defensively, take the trees out. But a couple strategies there. In addition, I'll tell you the third, another strategy. I think sticks again are a little more consistent, but I also think the Cacti Club is an interesting option for 2 reasons. One, the Cacti Club's projectiles do not have a limit to their range, meaning they can go all around the map. What this means is the Cacti Clubs do a really good job, with mainly melee, a couple points in range damage, do a really good job of clearing like all the trees, right? Because the spikes will be spraying everywhere, and you can just clear all the trees in the map without even seeing them. So I do think Cacti are a really good weapon. In addition, the cactuses are the heavy tag, which means you'll get a nice 25% bonus to damage, which really help deal with the plus negative 40% damage penalty. So if you're struggling, try cactuses. I think sticks are just a little bit better, especially at killing bosses. But if you're running into issues, cactus also works very well. But I slightly prefer sticks. And the reason I prefer sticks is cactuses, while they are very good at killing trees, the big issue I have with cacti is it's super difficult to kill elites and bosses with them. You really have to have like an all-star run or else you end up having to survive the bosses, which my strong preference in all characters, Explorer included, is to be able to take the bosses out, just so I don't have to run around. But, you know, you will do what you want. So that is 4 strategies for you. Melee stick, melee cactus, engineering side quest, or shredders. Again, all ways you can play this character, I think, semi-effectively. I do think sticks are the easiest. Again, sticks just make each other more powerful. They're a really safe weapon. They're a really consistent weapon. They give you that primitive tag early, right? So you get the extra 15 health nice and early, which works super well. And yeah, I think Explore is tough, right? Like, you don't just wake up and become Ferdinand Magellan, right? You don't just like circumnavigate the globe, you know, one day. I mean, I think Ferdinand Magellan actually like got killed in the navigation, right? Like he didn't survive, like the voyage made it. Anyway, so we don't want to be Ferdinand Magellan himself. We want to be the crew members in his ship that survived, right? We want to be the ones that made it home. You know, old Ferdinand didn't quite make it, but he did start the voyage, and I guess he gets credit. So he did, you know, something worked out. Feeling pretty solid here. Love a beanie, love an exoskeleton, again, just for some defense. No gecko for us. I think 56 speed is sufficient, so we'll go ahead and start focusing on percent damage from this point on, just because I do want to take those bosses out. No metal quite necessary. Again, with 37 range, love a Cyclops Worm. Again, sticks in general work really well with percent damage. So we're already at 162% damage. That is quite good. We'll take a fin. Again, more speed is good, means more trees. And we'll go ahead and grab a stick as well as a ritual. So for Wave 18, I'm going to do a quick strategy recap. If you don't want to watch this whole freaking video and you're like, Sean, how do I win with Explorer? Here is the basics of the build. And if you're watching, here's the recap for you, right? Go melee, either sticks or cacti clubs. I prefer sticks. Focus on ranged and a little bit of defense, but most importantly, speed and luck. The way this character is meant to be played is, yeah, maybe you'll have a run that you get strong enough like this and you can kill the bosses, but basically understand that this character starts with 12 of the tree item. And the way you're supposed to make up the disadvantage in materials is by focusing on trees. So getting good luck to get lots of crates from the trees, finding some bags to get some money from the trees, run around, kill the enemies you can, but the real key is speed, run around, taking the trees out. Don't forget to focus on items like weird fruit and lemonade that make those fruits a little bit more effective in healing you, because that will be the main way you heal from a run. If that strategy doesn't work, you can always try the engineering strategy or the shredder strategy, which is just focusing on explosives as if you were playing through a damage penalty. Either shall work. A couple items that do make the runs a lot easier. Power generator to help from all your speed. Rip and tear is an absolutely insane item on this character as well. So if you are struggling, go ahead and give some of those strategies a try. Keep that in mind, and I guarantee you, you will clear this character before too long. Now back to the action. I think we're in a good spot here to take things out nice and quick. We'll grab a sunglasses. Actually, our armor was a little low, so that may not have been the wisest choice. Don't have a good upgrade there, and I think we'll be all right. Go ahead and grab that stick for the bosses. But you can see we've managed to turn this Explorer into a relatively powerful potato due to the fact we got some decent harvesting boosts, as well as a couple hunting trophies. You know, those hunting trophies give us 1,000 materials, but we would be winning this without them, I assure you. But again, this just should provide you some good basics on how you can win with Explorer and be a tree expert, right? You could be a dendrochronologist. Yes, that is a real thing. I did not make it up. You can Google dendrochronology on your own time, or maybe more simply an arborist. But our Explorer, being an expert on trees and chopping down, is a certified dendrochronologist and arborist, right? Say that 3 times real fast. As we clear up here, Wave 19, quick reminder, if you have not subscribed, do me a solid and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Number one way that helps the channel grow, doesn't cost you anything. It would mean a lot to me. We're having a lot of channel success. Love all you guys, and excited to do this. Again, I think out of every character I haven't done yet, Explorer is by far and away the most requested character. It took me a little while to get this guide up because I actually wasn't sure what was better, engineering, shredders, or sticks. So I just wasn't sure what the best strategy was. I've tested a bunch now. I do think sticks is the most consistent way. So I feel a little bit more confident making my recommendations. That's the thing about my videos. I don't just push out guides. I wait until I have like a pretty solid understanding that what I'm giving you guys is like the best before I put it out. Anyway, put a little bit more melee damage there and feeling nice and good about things. We have enough dodge where an adrenaline is a little bit worth it. I'll take a harvesting just for less enemies around. Butterfly for a little bit of, you know, additional healing. Going into the last wave, taking alien magic. I mean, I think we're in a pretty good spot here to win, so I'm not super concerned about it. Would grab the coffee in the middle, don't have him. Anyway, going to the bosses here, we are strong enough with 197% damage and 60 melee damage to kill the bosses. Now keep in mind, you may not get this strong, right? Like you may have to run around and survive. If that's the case, just focus on the trees. You know, you got plenty of time to survive and don't sweat it. But understand you do not, I'd say about 60% of the time, you will not be going for boss kills here. I will be because we've had a strong run, but keep in mind, you do not have to do that. Sometimes it's just easiest to survive. You can see, nice clean run, like we haven't even taken 1 point of damage yet, so we will perfect these bosses. And there you go, right? Nice and easy. Go ahead and get your Explorer win yourself. Again, sticks, cacti clubs, engineering, or shredders can all work. This was a really powerful run, but you don't need to be this powerful to make it work. Just remember the basics. We already talked about them, and I guarantee you'll get that D5 clear no time. Anyway, thank you for exploring with me. I appreciate you, and as always, thank you for watching.